The Honourable Ruth Dyson.
For me to stand once again in this House and support the proposal to extend paid parental leave for New Zealand parents. I want to give some members of the opposition some facts because they seem to have been lacking, and I think that's a very sad thing in a debate that's as important as this. This is about extending our existing scheme by 8 weeks. It has got some faults, and I don't think we should ignore that fact, but this is about extending what we currently have, and it would cost about $12.7 million in tomorrow's budget, which is less than 1% of the $1.6 billion that the Prime Minister has announced will be in the budget tomorrow. This is an affordable proposal that we know would benefit new parents and their new babies, and I don't see why we shouldn't have that as a priority. My colleague Jacinda Ardern has just given very good financial reasons. The Select Committee heard overwhelming social and community-based reasons as well. The Brains Trust from the ACT Party talked about the difference between the number of new mothers and the number of people who applied for paid parental leave. He may not realise that the criteria restricts eligibility. It might pay him to... He wasn't in the House when this bill was originally introduced in 2002 and became the law when we first ventured into paid parental leave. He should read the criteria and understand that a whole lot of new parents are not eligible for it. He also should know that a number of new fathers won't apply for this because paid parental leave payment is so darn low that a lot of men miss out on having that time with the newborn baby because they just can't afford that drop in salary. So there are some deficiencies and there are some reasons that some people are not eligible and there are some reasons that some people don't apply. But he should argue on the basis of fact, not on the basis of made-up Epsom logic, which doesn't transgress into facts at all. In 2002, when we first introduced paid parental leave in New Zealand, members of the National Party said that it would create dependence on the state in new parents, so they voted against it, despite the fact that every other civilised developed country that we would like to compare ourselves favourably to has paid parental leave and says it's one of the best investments for maintaining a connection to the paid workforce and for ensuring that new babies have the best possible start in life. We were one of the first countries, perhaps the first country, it's debatable, in 2006 to extend entitlement to paid parental leave for self-employed new parents. And I think that's one of the best things we can do. We know a large percentage of the labour market in New Zealand are self-employed. We're innovative, that's what we do. So an entitlement for paid parental leave will make so much difference for those people. But we are still stuck at a time which is not considered best practice in terms of health outcomes. Too many women, and it's mostly women that get paid parental leave, much to my disappointment, too many women still go back into their paid job far too early. We need to offer more financial support, and this bill says we should give another 8 weeks. It's sensibly tranched so that we don't blow the budget. Less than 1% of the new spend in tomorrow's budget. Remember that when you're clapping your Minister of Finance, that this bill could have gone through at less than 1% of the new spend, and we could have an additional weeks of paid parental leave. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude by saying that I was absolutely disgusted at the response that Alfred Narrow gave over 6,500 submitters on this bill. I have the privilege of chairing the committee that received those submissions. They were accepted as submissions by a unanimous decision of that committee. 6,821 submissions, 6,817 of those submissions supported the proposal to extend paid parental leave. 99.94% of submissions supported this bill. I think that's a very, very clear message, and I hope it's a message that the National Party will get. This is a move that New Zealand is ready for. It's one of the best investments we can make to support new parents and their new babies, and it's about time we progressed it.